All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We got a very chill week ahead of us this week. It is going to be a short week due to Thanksgiving. The market is going to be closed on Thursday for that. You get a half day on Friday due to Black Friday. There is going to be a little bit of data. You get personal income, GDP, and the Fed minutes, but generally, we are not expecting to do much. Trading volume should be a lot lower, so please don't blow up your account. But like we talked about, if you take a look at November and around this time, we start to do that melt up. And now we got a couple of things we're looking forward to the end of the year, because if you didn't know, we are 5 weeks away from the end of the year. Yes, I know, that's wild, but what makes it even crazier is what we have done this year. So there is 5 weeks left in the year. Depending on how it plays out, it will either be one of the best years in the last 100 years, and at the very least, what I'm showing you right here, this is once again a back-to-back 20% year on the stock market. I don't know if you know this, but that is very rare. The last time this happened, it was 1995 and 1996. Those were the 2 consecutive years of more than 20%, and then the other times before that was 1954 and 55, then 35 and 36, and 1927 and 28. So we got a lot to talk about. I am going to talk a little bit about getting ready here for the end of the year and what people are looking at. We also even got some news about the Treasury pick. It looks like Scott Bessent is going to be our man, so that may give us a little bit to react to, but all in all, we're playing the end of the year. We're still riding with all of the election and animal spirits and dollar and crypto, and now we are getting ready for the end of the year. So I have all that. I got the plays, the keys, all that good stuff. What I need from you, a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/The Stock Market. We will see you there in the morning, baby. Run it.
Working to the couch, it's the 2020 election. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, off the bat, welcome to the end of the year. I should actually even tell you for this week, we will be live. We're going to be doing our turkey cutting on Thanksgiving Day, but this is probably going to be your last watch list for the week. I don't think there's going to be much to update you on, especially considering we are still following a lot of the same story and trades that we just got. So that's even part of the first key here. We are going to be looking ahead. There is only 5 weeks remaining. The story about the election and dollar, like we talked about, that is what we are getting. But this week, you're probably going to be reacting to Scott Bessent and a little bit of that data, but generally, it is usually a lot slower, and you get this weird melt up. That's what happens in November. It doesn't mean that it's guaranteed, but definitely if you are playing shorter dated contracts and looking for quick moves, you want to be careful this week. I've seen a lot of bad experiences. I keep reminding everybody this, so you're about to find out. We'll see as we get into it, but other than that, the earnings are winding down, and now these final weeks, there's a lot of good seasonality, but until we get into next week and all of those events, we're not really going to be having much. So until then, you ride all of the animal spirits. So that is key number one. Watch out for that. And now as far as the week, like I told you, you got Fed minutes on Tuesday, personal income and GDP on Wednesday. Then after that, it starts to dry up. Then next week, you're going to start getting a lot more of the data. Then things start to pick up. But now we finally got a big piece of data here with the Treasury pick, Scott Bessent. And I do think, even though it is going to be slow, if we do get that melt-up effect, I would watch some of the Trump trades and now tie them into Scott Bessent's philosophy. He's actually pro-crypto. He is very big on deregulation. He wants the economies to grow, and he is also down with lowering the deficit. He has this thing called like the 3 Bs, and he also has a fund too. His fund has not done well, even though he has a crazy history. This guy was a part of the pound breaking. He even worked with Jim Chanos, so this guy has a wild background, but I do think the markets will take it well. I do think that Kevin Warren Porsche would have been the safer pick, but he might be able to help out bonds tomorrow. We'll find out, and then just watch anything small caps, crypto, related to deregulation, and even oil. He is huge on that. He says we should be pumping 3 million more barrels a day of oil, just no matter what. He's a big fan on oil and energy making things work. So watch all those trades. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of back and forth. And if we do get some of those Trump tweets and all of that, I mean, on a slow week of Thanksgiving, maybe this is where we get some action. So we'll see. Other than that, it should be very simple. And now that leads us to the final key here. Like I was telling you here in the beginning, if the S&P in the final 5 weeks, if it can go 3% from where we are at now, this will have been the best year for the stock market in the last 100 years. It's pretty wild considering last year was also a good year. I think the best year was 2021, believe it or not. So if we're about to go and peak that again, you got people talking about inflation and all of that stuff all over. So we'll find out. But the point being is, you're getting a very historic move. The fact that you're even getting that back-to-back like I showed you guys on the chart, you guys got to really look at this chart. It's telling you something else. Not only did you have a big move, but what happened in the following 2 years. So you could see what happened in 1929, 1937, 56, 97, and now we're about to get into 25 and 26. You could also see what happened here to the bonds, and now here's another one. I'll just throw it into the mix before we get into the main conclusion of it all, but even the bonds, this is their third loss in 4 years. That's the first time that's happened since the 50s, and then again, when things like this happen, what is the main point that people are looking for? Usually, if you get a massive move in one direction on a broader scale, that move is either going to continue or it is going to reverse. On a broader level, you are going to get some sort of follow-up coming into 25 and 26. This is why I'm partly thinking these years are going to be insane, because the momentum we're bringing into this is wild. And if you do look over the last 100, 150 years, you don't really see this too often. So whatever happens with this administration, the front run that we're seeing now, and then how these plays align, it is going to be absolutely wild. And now we got to start asking ourselves, how do we get ready for next year? Are the main themes, is what we're worried about now going to come true? Or by the end of the year, are we going to be worried about something else? What's going to happen with bonds? And that's even a big final point, because a lot of people are talking about, even in, I think, 1996, you had the bonds get blown out right before, but then following, look at 96, 97, you just kept going crazy. And then even the bonds, they were able to actually get a return. So that was an instance where the rates were high, the market was booming. I mean, I don't know if they talked about inflation in '01, but point was, you had a very similar situation to right here, but 97, 98, the bonds chilled out, and that's what kind of allowed things to happen. So we'll see with after these moves we've got, but the follow-up from bonds to equities, it is probably going to be massive. And now, I mean, if you weren't excited yet, what you've already lived through, this is setting the stage for a wild 24 months. So, Chattadonia, I hope you're locked and loaded and ready to go. But now, let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, I got a couple. I mean, I'm thinking both short-term and even long-term with some of these. We were even talking about long-term on the live watch list, but I got to start with Airbnb. This one's in my long-term. I'm considering adding more for a long-term or even making a short-term play, but I was thinking about this. I was looking at some of the other travel names, and then even with Scott Bessent and everybody talking about deregulation and Airbnb, I just think that this is going to be one of those big winners of deregulation, and I don't think it's being talked about enough yet. I mean, imagine they ban this got banned, the cities do this and do that. If we're really moving to an era of crypto and business deregulation and moving things from government to private, I don't see why Airbnb wouldn't be a leader in some of that as far as the real estate and travel part goes. So going to be keeping my eyes out for that. Again, it's going to be a slow week, so not going to force it, but keeping my eyes open for long and short term. So watch out for that. That is play number one. Then play number two, we're coming into the holidays, and this is going to be the play of Firm and Square. There's also plays like Sizzle and pretty much anybody with buy now, pay later. I have been saying this for a couple of weeks now, and I'm mad I missed that double dip on a Firm. There was a great opportunity, and then it rocketed up another $10 from there. So a lot of this may be priced in. There may be a little bit more meat on the bone, but I would definitely be price sensitive. But the way I'm looking at it, by the end of the holidays, after Black Friday, that weekend after, you're going to start getting headlines of people saying, oh, buy now, pay later to a record high. That's what we saw last year, and that was like the first time that really happened. And remember, this is still kind of new, and it's a trend that's gained a lot of popularity. So mixing it into the sales and how everyone's feeling, I would not be surprised if we got a major headline. So watch out for that. Only problem, it's already moved up a lot. And again, we are going to be having a slow week. So that is play number 2. And then finally, play number 3, my friends, Comcast. So this one's kind of weird, but I don't know if you've been on Twitter. You can follow me, Real Cold News on Twitter, man. But dude, Elon and all his Republican friends, I feel like they are peer pressuring him into buying MSNBC. He even made a tweet about it this morning, retweeting memes, and this is how he ended up buying Twitter, so we'll find out. But the way I'm looking at it, if the market is going to be slow on the holidays, you get this back and forth. I mean, this just may be where some of the news and attention is. So we'll find out by the time we wake up tomorrow, see the vibe of everything. I think tomorrow will be more exciting, but as you get closer to Thanksgiving, the volume is progressively going to start getting knocked off. So plan and trade accordingly and save 10% and get a lot there. But those are the main plays. As far as everything else, I only made one play on Friday. I sold one half of those Estee Lauders. Remember that November play on the director purchase? Well, I liked it, but like I told you guys, I think I paid a little too much, so it went up 100%, made it free, still riding that, and that could be exciting and part of the China trades. And that's the other thing. I mean, that's all I have, but I will be looking for long-term a little bit this week. So if it's pretty chill, we'll be keeping an eye out. And I did talk about China. This is something to keep in mind. This is China tech versus U.S. tech. So China tech did run up here at the end of last year. It's not like it's still in the doldrums. So that's why people are like, should you still buy Baba or this? It's like, well, some of those names are still up, but looking ahead end of the year, but especially into the next year, this is going to be an opportunity I'm going to be looking at. But like I said, anything from deregulation all the way down to real estate, even chips, there's a lot of different opportunities we could get. So I'm glad we stacked up. We got a deposit right around the corner, but it should be a chill week. I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and then I will see you guys live, and stay healthy and stay safe. And this is such a calm ending, but that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And I need you to remember, I don't want it to be corny, cliche, but be grateful, man. I know it's Thanksgiving, but, man, the best hack in life, bro. If you could be appreciative for the littlest things, man. I'm telling you, I don't know if you feeling down, seasonal affect disorder, the weather. I don't know, man. Maybe you're going too much on a walk on Thanksgiving. I know what you're doing. But the whole point is, man, just be grateful. The little things. I'm telling you, it's a hack in life, man. So enjoy it. I would love to see you on stream, baby. Get a long term and horn.